Hey everyone, this is Maury Curtis Dunbar with Painted Studio here in Chicago, and I am live today on Artistic Painting Studios Retailer Spotlight. I appreciate everybody joining us, and we have a fun project we're working on today. I'm going to give everybody a moment to see if they want to come on and watch our live. I'm going to open my page here on Facebook, so, well, actually not my page, well, maybe my page. I don't know. I gotta remember how to do this so that I can find myself on Facebook so that I can answer your questions as I'm doing things. And really, that's my goal. So let me see if I can find how to find myself. I've got my volume turned down now. People ask me this all the time. Why don't I have this going before you tune in? I can't. I have to turn on my live for you guys to see me, and then I have to go down to my iPad and adjust that so that while I'm live, I can actually see it. Now I'm going to, oh, look, fun windows just appear out of nowhere on my page. Okay, good. There we go. We got the commenting on. Everybody can ask questions as we go. So let's now dive into it. I'm going to shift the camera a little bit, and as you can see right here, I'm going to move it back so you can see a little better. I was given a blow molded carousel horse. This is plastic, likely not fiberglass. It's a little lighter than fiberglass would be. It had been cream. I painted it. Now I did a video working on this last week, so I saved the rest of it for you all today. What I had done, this was white. I painted the whole thing black with Black SetCoat. I find it bonds really hard to things like this. Worked beautifully. Then I put foil adhesive on the body, and we put our, let me pull the foil up so I can actually read it. We are with the Galaxy Glitter Foil. Yes, we carry this. And foil has an ugly side and a pretty side. And for those who've watched our videos before, you know you put the ugly side down to release this beautiful pattern. Now, obviously, this could be fantastic as it is. That's not going to stay that way. Anybody who's ever seen my work knows that that's not how I work. So I'm going to take this horse. I'm going to turn it on its side because obviously this is light. I'm doing this with one hand. All right, I'm going to take it, turn it on its side. I'm going to adjust my camera angle so you can see what I'm doing. And as you can see, I've got the head right down here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. There you go. So you can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, you're just watching me from a distance paint stuff. So this was easy. I could do it with a big brush, cover lots of space. But now we're getting up into the main area. And it is going to be pretty darn detailed. So I can paint large, and I already know that I've missed some spots, like I missed this corner here. This should have this foil on it, but I've already started the foiling process on this. So I want to continue where I'm going, and then I can come back and touch up with smaller brushes that get me into better spaces. Now, give me a sec, let me reach over. I do everything you're not supposed to do. I didn't pour out any foil adhesive. I'm working with our ArtsSyVille Foil Adhesive. I'm pulling it right out of the can because my brushes are clean and I know I'm not going to be cross-contaminating. If I can avoid doing it, I don't pour things out of cans simply because I lose a lot to the going back and forth between containers. So the first thing I'm going to do is come up in here and brush all of this. And this had been gold before, but that's not where I want to go with it. I've already painted the other side of the mane and the tail. So once I've painted this with the adhesive, we'll flip it over and I'll show you where I'm going with it. So first I'm going to take a bigger brush and cover the larger areas. And somebody's going to notice what I just did. I often paint with both hands. I'm relatively ambidextrous when we're not doing fine detail work. Always been that way. It got better after many, many years of painting on walls and floors and ceilings and having to use my less dominant hand to reach in places that were almost impossible for me to get with my left hand. So I'm gonna come around and do this. Hi, Maddie, nice to see you. So we're gonna keep going here. Now, just so you all know, we are open for business today, so I may have people coming in. As a matter of fact, I hear some people coming in right now. So if I have to hop off and take care of customers, I will do so. Hi folks, how are you today?
Oh, we're good, how are you?
We are doing a Facebook Live back here, so if you have any interest in watching what's going on, you're welcome to be part of it.
Oh, that's really cool. We're from the local high school and we're putting up posters for our show. We were just wondering if there's any way you'd let us put one in your window.
Sure, stick it in the window. If you don't mind, I'm going to get back to my live and...
No, we may come around the corner to check out what you're doing, but thank you very much.
You're welcome. So as you can see, this is a typical day, folks, and here in Brookfield, we have a lot of community stuff that happens. So we often see the youngsters from the high school or people from the various organizations coming in and placing posters for different events. So you can see I've got a smaller brush now, and I'm going in for the details around the mane so that when I release the foil on it, it is a more detailed release than I was dealing with before. And I just got to get in here. And I will pull my foil adhesive. I will move it because it will pool a little bit, but this is a heavy product, so I'm not going to get a ton of pooling. But more than anything, if I push it and move it around, I can stretch it and get more mileage out of my product. So we're going to do this. I'm going in here.
Thank you again.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
So I haven't looked to see where they put it. It may need to be adjusted, especially if they took out something else that still needs to be in the window. But we'll work on that later. I'm not too concerned about it right now. I'm sure if you are not familiar with this foil adhesive, it is ArtsSyVille Foil Adhesive. It stays sticky forever. I could put this on now, come back in a year, and still release foil on it. Might be a little permanently dusty, because somehow I don't think if I walked away from it for a year, I'd have it hermetically sealed in a dust-free environment, but it would still be sticky, which is also why you must top coat everything when you use this foil adhesive for foil, because there is still a vaguely sticky film. The breaks in the foil allow things to stay sticky. Oh, thank you, Gigi. I appreciate that. So, you know, I got lucky. One of my friends came and just gave me the horse. She had it. It was given to her by another artist who didn't ever complete. They kept looking at it going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And the biggest problem is that it was missing its stand, its bracket to hold the pole in the stand. Well, I've already resolved that problem, so it's going to be going up for sale, and also be a part of our window display for our next change of windows for our spring and Easter. I mean, think of how cute this would be, just galloping through your window to show what you can do. So I've put that on there, and I will work on each of these different parts of the bridle and the saddle and stuff at each different point, getting different colors. I haven't decided if I'm going to foil here or if I'm going to paint here. I'll figure that out later. So now I'm going to pick this up, turn this over, and we're going to look at the butt end of the horse again for a minute. Sorry about that. The paper underneath me, I have old calendars, big calendars that I use for my wall here in the studio, and I like to, when I use the calendar up, I put the paper under here. Why waste it? Extra work surface to keep things clean. So I've got the foil adhesive applied completely. How big is this horse? It's probably a little over 3 feet long. It's one of those that probably was designed for something for a kid. I can't tell you what it was for before this. It might have been display. I don't know. It just landed on my doorstep thanks to a good friend who said, we keep saying we're going to do something with this and then never do. So I got it, and you all are getting the lives while I transform it. So the foil we're going to use next for the tail is this gorgeous blue pebble. Look how pretty that is. Because I can't leave anything alone. It has to be a little more dramatic than just plain black. So I'm now putting it on the tail. I have put adhesive on the entire surface. Now I know I'm going to scrub this and it's not going to get into all the details, so I'm going to have to shift it around, move the foil to get into the details. Somehow, no matter how I do these videos, I'm always showing somebody the butt end of the horse. Trying to avoid doing that. I was trying to avoid doing it on the last video when I showed how we started this. Nope, everybody saw the butt end of the horse. All right, I mean, look at that. Oh my God, how gorgeous is that? Oh, this pebble foil. And it's on this surface, it doesn't look pebbly. It looks sort of iridescent and two-tone. It's very cool. Now, when I get into detailed areas like this, sorry, I gotta move things so I can see them. I don't just stick with a larger brush. Sorry, I'm trying to get back into this so I can see your comments. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I had to get the comments turned on. Every time I think I get it right, I do it wrong. Probably that's why I never get it right, because I can't remember which is the right way from one time to another. All right, so for details, I use these really stiff dollar store toothbrushes. The exterior bristles are a little soft so they can get in, but then you have these stiff inner bristles that really, really help getting into the details. I mean, just look, how cool is that? Oh, I love this. I'm so excited. That's coming out just the way I was hoping. I'm gonna zoom you out so we get a bigger picture. See if I can make that work. Wow, I got it before and I zoomed you in. I can't zoom you out. There we go. I am a genius with this stuff. I can do the electronics or I can do the painting. I can't usually do both at the same moment. Yes, Gigi, this is a must-have foil. It is beyond gorgeous. I keep losing the toothbrush because I keep sticking it under the horse's butt. Oh, another phrase I never thought I'd hear myself say in my lifetime. God almighty. My mother would be so proud. All right. I mean, look at how beautiful that blue is. And then look how gorgeous it is against this foil, the galaxy foil. It's so pretty. I love this. And I'm going to go in, keep going in. Oh gosh, yeah, that's good. That is so good. I love this blue. I love the shade of blue. I love the pebbles that when it transfers onto an irregular surface, you don't see it so much as pebbles. You just see it as changes in the way the light hits the surface and reflects. This is so good. And I'm not worried too much if my foil isn't 100% perfect release. The reason for that is very simple. Carousel horses can look a little worn, you know, because people, well, they sit on them. So if I have a few flaws in the foiling, it will just look that much more authentic as a finish. I love carousel horses. Actually, I love riding the carousel. Probably one of the few things left on amusement parks that I can ride and not end up coming out and wanting to be incredibly sick. So I'm going to now flip the head around, this around. And I know I've got a piece of foil stuck to the ponytails. So this side of the head, let's get you into there. This side of the head, I put the adhesive on earlier today, so we'll release some foil up on the mane and you'll get a better feeling on how it's going to look at the head. And like I said, each one of the bits of the bridle and everything else, I will be detailing one by one. Hey, who knows, that'll maybe end up as another live for later this week. I'm really pleased with how this came out. Melanie, Jennifer, nice to see you. I'm so excited everybody pops in. It makes me so happy. All right, let's cut another piece of this blue pebble foil. We are all APS Studio products today, all day. It has been a foil in kind of day or a foil adhesive kind of day. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get in there with my toothbrush. And if my toothbrush isn't stiff enough, I also use these things. This is like a Mr. Clean. I don't think you can read that there. Mr. Clean. I know this is flipped for you right now, but it's Mr. Clean. And it's really very stiff. So if I had to get in, desperately needed to get into a spot and I really had to shove, or I had a surface that was really challenging me, I would use a stiffer scrubber. But this stuff is just releasing like a dream. I have no problems with how this is releasing right now, so I don't need any heavier scrubbing. And that's usually the case with the ArtsSyVille Foil Adhesive and the foils that we carry that come from our lovely hostess Jennifer Ferguson, who, if she's still watching, sometimes I think I wear Jennifer out. Hell, I wear myself out. Why wouldn't I wear anybody else out? Oh yeah, look, this is coming along so well. So I can see right here, it's lighter here and darker here. That means that my foil has not released in that spot. And I won't know until I lift it if it's because I already hit that spot with the foil or if I missed it. And you see, I can mist in here in these crevices. I'm gonna come back down closer so y'all can see it closer again. Let's get there. Move it so I know you can see, so I can see it too. And if I mess your questions or anything, do not hesitate to post them here, and I will get to them after I do the live, because I can't always see and answer the questions while I'm doing this. It doesn't happen. She's listening while she's working in the studio. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, she has too much going on. Every time I think I'm busy, I talk to Jennifer and then go, oh my God, I don't know how she does it. So I can get in here even just with my fingernails. That's how easy this release is. I can go into these little tiny crevices with a toothbrush, with a scrub brush, my fingernails, with a rag, and it all releases just so nicely. And look how cool that looks against this horse. Oh God, that is gonna be so sharp. This is gonna be one of my more colorful projects, although that's probably not true. If anybody on here actually follows me on my own page, which is Painted Studio here on Facebook, we all know I like color. There isn't, even if I dress myself in all black, I'll paint everything in all colors of the rainbow. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how nicely, oh, just love this. Just love this. I know, Melanie, anything you with the horses. I'm surprised you didn't realize I was painting the horse and make a trip right over to my studio and just pull it out, because you are one of the most horse riding people I know, and I love it. Look at that. I mean, just look how gorgeous this color is against them. The bright colors, and if you look closely in these little circles where the blue is in here, let me see if I can find it where you all are seeing it, right up in here and over in here. It's the same blue as this foil, so it works together really, really well, and it makes both of them show up even better. Get in there. And let's get a little in here. Now this is gonna take me a while to do all this scrubbing out of this foil, and I know it's not, you know, the most exciting thing in the world to sit and watch somebody foil something after you get the basics of it down. But I am gonna show you where we're going with the pull and the support structure that I've created so that this will sit on its pull. I have the base for this as well. I haven't opened it. I have no idea what color or what any of this base looks like. Suffice it to say, I've already committed mentally to having to do some work on it, just to make it work with what we've got. Oh yeah, look at how nice. I get so excited when it releases well. Now, if the surface itself, if the plastic itself was smoother, when this releases, it would be a lot more mirrory. It's got a little bit of almost like a brushed metal effect to it here, because the plastic has a little bit of texture that makes it appear slightly mattified. Oh, gotta get in there. Get my fingernail into the little crevice. See if I can get it in. Wow, the foil is louder than my voice today. That's from really loud foil, because nobody's ever accused me of being too quiet. All that German background in me, we had to be yelling through the forest and over the mountains. Or just in my house to be heard over the dogs. So as you can look down here, you can see that I've kind of painted these little details down into the main. And I've missed this spot with foil adhesive for this color, and I knew that was going to happen. So I will come back in here once I've finished foiling this whole surface, and I will clean up this edge along here so that it looks like this skin meets up to where the main is. Now, one other thing, let me go back out for you guys. Now, the one other thing that we wanted to cover today, I'm feeling colorful myself, a little purpley today, a little purple on the eyes, a little purple on the lips, is the pole, which is over here by me. Now, this, I doubt this was the original. When this was given to me, it's a big wooden dowel. You know, the same, you can get them at Home Depot. Obviously, this one got broken at some point, so eventually I'll get around to replacing it. But the problem was that the pony came with the dowel and nothing to keep the pony on the dowel. And there had been plaster and tape and all kinds of stuff. So I did something really simple. Before I painted it, I screwed in a bunch of wood screws, and I'm painting the screws to match so that they disappear. So when I foil them, they won't look any different than the pole. And then I will be screwing on a brace under the belly of the horse so it sits on it and is stable. It would probably carry the weight of a kid, not of an adult. So what I've done is I painted this. First I put a layer of, where did I put it? I put Faux Effects SetCoat in woody yellow. And then I painted the second layer in Faux Effects True Gold. Now I could leave it like this. It would be great. It's perfect. But I want it even more metallic because, you know, I can't leave good enough alone. So we are going to use the Ramsey's Roses in gold. So I have the gold base so that wherever there are little cracks and crevices, it won't be very visible. And then we're using this. I mean, this is going to be pretty. I only put foil adhesive on half of this pole so that I could foil half of it and still have a part to hold onto without gluing my own hands to the pole. So we're going to do that while we're all here together. I'm going to angle the camera down. There we go. So I almost accidentally turned the phone off here so that you couldn't see what we're doing. So I'm going to move this. I've got let's see if you can see the pole from where I am sitting. We're in a funky corner here in the studio because there's so many projects going on that I had to kind of create a space for today. All right, so I'm just wrapping this around. I don't care that I have wrinkles or anything. I'm just gonna give it a little rub with my hand. And then I'm gonna use my little scrub brush. This is one of the softer ones. Most of the new ones are softer. It's harder to find the old ones that were stiffer. I have a few of those around too. I'm just gonna give this a little scrub. I want to get in here. I didn't worry about sealing this pole up too well, so I just painted over it. Oh yeah, that's gonna look great. Look how that's releasing. I got it stuck on itself down below. Look at that. That's gonna make such a great post for this. And hold it back so maybe you can see the pattern. You can see the vague imprint of the pattern. It's easier for me to see it here up close. It'd be good if I didn't stick the gold where the blue needs to go. I'm gonna finish the top here, and then we'll get all the way around the top, all the way up. I think I put foil adhesive to about here, so before I stop doing anything else, I wanna get all of my foil adhesive handled on my pole. Of course, you know, I could have put the screws on later, might have made my day easier, but that's not how I work. If there's a way to make it harder for myself, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that one instead. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am Maury Dunbar. I'm in Chicago. I have been a decorative painter for 30 years, which is how I've known Jennifer when I was still doing walls and floors and ceilings and building exteriors and all of that stuff. And when I decided to make a change, Jennifer was the first person I went to because I knew her products and I knew I wanted to be carrying them. I've known Jennifer for a long time. And if you're personal friends with her, you may have seen some of our friends' exploits in various conventions and business venues and somehow ending up in trouble even when we're trying not to. I am putting a little bit of foil right on the screws just so they kind of hide. And again, like I said, I'm not killing myself with this application because really it's more of a indistinct look. Sorry, not a distinct look. So I got this nicely modeled golden pole that's gonna look there. Oh yes, Rima, you have been a student in one of Jennifer's and my classes, and if nothing else, we are entertaining when we teach together. Usually Jennifer's trying to catch me before I make one more giant mess somewhere because she's the tidy teacher and I am the mess. I trashed her studio in a matter of 24 hours in one day, the one time I came out. Of course, that was the mistake. She left me alone. She wasn't feeling well, so I went to the studio and painted anyway. Oh gosh, yeah. A lot of you may have known me for quite a while. To some of you, I'm very new, and I'm happy to meet you and happy to show you some new things. Okay, so here's what the pole looked like without the foil. Here's what the pole looks like with it. I love it. I love it. Isn't that gold so pretty? It looked like it had a lot of black on the website, but it doesn't. Yeah, no, once you get it, this does not have any black in it. It just looks that way because of the way the lights and the darks play on it. Because you have a matte and a shiny, and that's why you get that different texture and stuff in there. That's why you get that different imprint. It's so beautiful. Oh gosh, Rima, yes, you're remembering the glitter guns and me holding up people with the glitter guns, pretending I was mugging them for their pretty finishes. Yeah, that was entertaining. That was a heck of a class. We had a lot of fun in that class. That was a big class. Rima happened to have been into one of my classes that Jennifer and I were teaching when we were in, was that in Reno? I think that was in Reno. And we were teaching Jennifer and I were teaching a class in convention, and we were ridiculous. But Carrie Vodder, who may or may not be on here, she was in my last class at a convention, and I was dancing with Twizzlers. I had 2-foot long Twizzlers, and I was hanging them out of my mouth like an elephant's trunk and dancing to music with Twizzlers whipping around the classroom. So we have had some very interesting classroom experiences. All right, so this is coming out just the way I was hoping it would. As you can see, I'm going back and just messing with this. I don't think you all want to sit here and watch me release the foil forever, but now I can upright the horse a little bit, zoom it back. So the, whoops, sorry. Ooh.